Hi, my name is Jennifer Tiernan, and on Saturday after leaving the No Kings protest, I was struck and injured by a motor vehicle while leaving the protest. The cops here in Catskill, New York, took several days to get an accident report together, and they would not give me any information. They never interviewed me after the accident. I've been asking for information for days because I've been very traumatized by this event. And now, in order to re-traumatize me, the cops here in Catskill are telling me that it's my fault that I put my human body in the street to be hit by a motor vehicle. The people in the motor vehicle actually got out and started screaming in my face after they had struck me. I spent the rest of the day in the hospital having x-rays and MRIs, CAT scans on my pelvis and on my head. And they never came to check on me. They never came to ask me any questions. They never did anything. And now they're giving me a citation for being in the road. So, honestly, I think that's a bunch of crap. And I'm very, very upset because I want to press criminal charges against this person who hit me. And the cops just handed me a fucking citation saying that it's my fault, that my fragile human body got hit by a motor vehicle after the protest. I have not yet seen the videos. They refuse to show them to me without a FOIL request, which of course I will file. That's all I have to say for now. But protect and serve? I don't think so.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule cause you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, cause I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast, and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts, and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring, and George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Welcome to the MC Too Tall Show. I am your hardcore, fierce, and quite obviously sexy host, MC Too Tall. We got a lot to unpack here. Jennifer Tiernan. This is soon to be a household name. Watch out for this name, Jennifer Tiernan. Because I'm not the only person you'll be hearing this name from. Apparently, she was one of the protesters for the nationwide liberal-funded, GMO-funded, nationwide bigger protest called the No Kings protest. And this person, looking like this, went and joined the Catskills protest. Way up in the Catskills, upstate New York. And she was struck by a car. Now, was she just leisurely minding her own business, crossing the street, and then got struck by the car? Or did she stand in front of the car screaming at the occupants of the car and then get struck? Was the vehicle slow moving, giving her the opportunity to get out of the way of the vehicle? Was she aware that this vehicle was approaching and wasn't going to stop, but chose to remain in the way of the vehicle? Did she purposely get in front of the vehicle to hinder the vehicle from moving? After a while, when you do that, it's an action to which there is a reaction. And you may not like the action, you might not like the reaction, but to this action, commonly there will be this type of reaction. And so, here's a case where I believe somebody hindered someone else's leisurely drive through the Catskills and, as they say, FAFO, LMAO. And now she's traumatized. She's traumatized. She is a victim. All liberals are victims. Just ask them. Jay-Z, one of the first ever billionaire rappers, if not the first ever billionaire rapper, is a victim. Just ask him. He is so oppressed, and I am so much more privileged than him. Just ask him. Prior to spending the rest of his life in jail, which I believe Diddy inevitably will, Diddy was jealous of my truck. With all his millions in the bank, he was jealous of my truck. My 2002 faded blue painted Chevy truck with well over 200,000 miles on it. Diddy's jealous of that because, ask him, go to the prison and visit him and ask him if he's a victim, and he will tell you yes. Because, as a white person, I am so much more privileged than Diddy ever was in his entire life. He had the extra money to spend on all kinds of security to keep his freak-off parties under wraps. But I am privileged and he is not. Jay-Z has enough money to hold all of his dirt under the rug. But I am privileged and he is not. This white lady, we have the woman box checked off. And she is so oppressed for being a woman. Not for looking dirty, not for growing dreadlocks and wearing shabby clothes, not for spending her entire weekly paycheck on a single tattoo, and then having several tattoos, which means several weeks worth of her pay. I am privileged and she is not, because I'm a grown-ass man and she is a woman. And so, if you ask her, she has every right and reason to get in front of that motor vehicle. We don't even know the year, make, and model of this motor vehicle. We don't even know if it happened. But looking like that, one can only guess how it went down, if it went down. I believe she got in the way of the vehicle started shouting at the occupants of the vehicle. Vehicle continued to move, probably rolling very slowly, and she probably screamed like all hell was breaking loose. And doctors stand to make money, so they took her in for scans on her pelvis and her head and her brain. Yet they can't find the Trump derangement syndrome in that brain for some reason. And here we are. I don't believe that the protests were winding down and all she was doing was crossing the street and got aggressively hit by a bunch of MAGA people who then got out of the car and started yelling MAGA slogans at her. I don't believe it. I cannot take her side in this story because she's wearing the evidence of TDS in her very appearance. And she took this video to be famous, so here she is on my video. You're gonna be famous, all right. With my power and influence, you are gonna be famous, but not for the reasons you want to be famous. People like Jennifer Tiernan are the pariah of society. These are the people who perpetuate criminality. Because, as you know, crime runs rampant because of the Democrats. These No Kings protests were to defend people escaping from a country whose flag they're flying while destroying the country they're escaping to. Not a very good selling point for accepting your residency in this country. Not too good. And then you have the Mexican president, Sheinbaum, demanding that we accept her refugees. So, people from her country are coming in, deliberately destroying property, assaulting people, committing murder and rape, and she is demanding that the United States allow the influx of this. This sounds like an act of war. It's sounding more and more like she's deliberately sending people to rape and pillage and destroy property here in these United States of this America. And it's all sorts of wrong, and it results in deranged people going on X, posting videos of how they're traumatized because they blocked traffic and FAFO'd. So, with that said, on to my loyal John Crancians, I say, respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, follow and share this content, make Jennifer famous for all the wrong reasons. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. Hiss your boy in the building. Hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall. And you be good now.